Exactly. Welcome, everybody. You just develop powers. Of course, we can talk. Boydonic. I travel interdimensional. That's incredible, man. It's up in on the molecule. Exactly. That's what the molecule does, brother. But if you want to talk about specifics, you can obviously tell me here, but it'll be much easier if we talk via email. Today I had a pretty crazy day, so I didn't have time to respond to a lot of the emails, but I usually respond, so feel free to email me, and I will definitely respond in the next few days. My ability brings astral and physical realities close together. I have 74 documented cases. 74 documented cases of what, brother? Welcome, everybody, to Simulation Talk 87, I believe it is. I think it is. 1 second. All right. Let's see. I appreciate you too, Arwen. Good to see you here. Okay, buddy, Nick. So I think what will be required, again, you can keep saying things here, but what will be required is to give me more specific on email. My email is lasersimulationx@gmail.com. That's the easiest way to get my attention quick. And again, you can keep telling things here. There you go. Just put it right there. Yeah, all of these things are extremely valuable. So the molecule is kind of known for that. But if you have specifics that you manage to do and replicate exactly, and you have a way to present how you're actually replicating this is extremely useful. So absolutely amazing. Quick question: your demonstration of your abilities are more than just you being in the state? Are they externally physically visible? Question. Welcome, everybody. Absolutely. Welcome, everybody, to Simulation Talk 87 on TikTok, on YouTube, on Twitch and X. Welcome, everybody. This channel usually revolves around simulation hypothesis. My name is Danny, and I'm claiming to have found actual proof that we live in a simulation. I've been vocal about the experiment that I've devised a few years ago. I became vocal a few years ago, and since then, we have over 1,000 replications worldwide. I will describe the experiment real quick. I discovered that if you project diffracted laser on a surface and you ingest a particular molecule that I can't really name on a live chat, you will see code running in surfaces. And as I said, this observation has now been replicated over 1,000 times worldwide. I am in contact with some of the leading researchers in the field, but it does not mean that they all agree with me. However, this is an ongoing conversation, and it's a developing story, a very interesting one at that. We are currently working on a documentary about everything that's going on, including obviously the discovery and everything that goes with it. And we meet here every single day to discuss the implications, the experiment, but also science in general, religion, spirituality, philosophy, God, whatever comes to mind. So with that short introduction, we can dive right in. Just letting everybody know, today is going to be a relatively short live, maybe 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more, just because I actually have a very early start tomorrow. But we can definitely address some of the questions, because in the last few days I had people on, and I want to address more of people's questions today. So let's dive right in. And if somebody just shows up and they need a quick recap of what we're doing, feel free to just put it in the chat, and I will absolutely do so. Chavez is asking, are they? Oh, first of all, Arwin is asking, are they Western numbers? You mean Roman? Roman numerals is not Western numbers. You're right. What are the Western numbers called? They have to have a name, right? It looks kind of oddly like in the movie, like in Matrix. It looks very close to Japanese, some Hebrew letters, and some numbers from 0 to 5. Very important to emphasize that these are just approximations. It doesn't look exactly like that. These are the closest things that it looks as. but not quite that. Chavez is asking, I want to know your thoughts. What if our own awareness never ends, like we don't die in our own reality? We all have different realities that overlap, weave in and out of constantly. The short answer is yes. I'm fully on board with this. Um, Wait, what's happening? Oh, here we are. Okay. Boyd and Nick said, "Oh, Arabic numerals. Oh, yeah, you're right. They are called Arabic numerals. I think they were developed in India, if I'm not mistaken." Then I understand the speckle effect is not related to the code. Would you say the code is behind the speckle effect in terms of how you perceive it? Is the code on a 2D surface? Great questions, Newman. Newman, or Newman? How do you pronounce that? I would say it's in between. It's not 2D, it's 3D, and you can see it extending infinitely into the distance. It has very much. I'm now in the habit of saying this a lot because I'm now working with this frame. It looks very much like a hologram, like it looks like it's extending infinitely into the wall, or whatever is you looking through. I'm glad Hoosier is allowed to smile now. Did you hear that? That's what the dog had to say about this, Garrett. Also, Hoosier as in Indiana, because I used to live in Indiana. I've seen symbols like you are describing while looking at the ocean. Thank you, Henry, for sharing. This is literally the most common comment I get, email and otherwise. People see code in all kinds of different scenarios without the laser, without the molecule. But as I always say, it seems to be that in all these cases, let me correct myself, in most of these cases, it's not the same code. The code you see in the laser is very specific and it doesn't actually change according to anything that you do, including movement, or you can't actually change it with your attention. The code that people usually tend to see in any other way, they tend to be able to change it. It's more malleable. So I believe there's layers of this code, and this code is closer to what we are as conscious beings, which is more malleable. And then there's code that is closer to what we would call objective reality, or the regularities of the more universal mind. And I believe that's what we're seeing in the laser. Bobo is saying, and it jumped on me. Now I don't know what he was saying. Can you read this? Yes, I can. Powell. I suggest having an open mind, and you'll find this world is more than it seems. I would agree with that. Wait, who was it? Who had? I love skeptics. Where do we have the skeptics here? Oh, somebody's saying it's a scam. Yeah, I assure you it's actually not. I mean, you can test it for yourself. That's the whole point. Have you tried the experiment with the other kind of spirit molecule? I can't name it here. No, I also have a hard time believing that anybody can stay upright under that molecule. Even though somebody told me that you can with smaller, doses, but no, I have not. Okay. Oi. Why does it keep jumping on me? What's up, everybody? There was a comment there that I missed. Wow. Max is saying you're a very smart young man. Don't denigrate yourself for the other. All right, Max. Nice profile picture. Sorry, guys. Today I'm probably not gonna be bringing on guests. Apologies on that. Just because I don't have enough time to open a discussion today. But usually I do. So don't please come back either tomorrow or any other day, and I will definitely bring you back on. Have you tried to experiment? Oh, we saw that. Okay, wow, TikTok really need. Do you think we stop the hurricane with our minds? No. Do you see the code during a breakthrough? I think during a breakthrough you see nothing but the space where you're breaking through into. By the way, everybody on TikTok that are not familiar with my content, you can watch the longer forms of the content on YouTube on my channel Dango Thoughts. It's 3 words, DANGO Thoughts, or you can simply follow the link in my description in my link tree up in the thing. Also, everybody who are here across platforms, if you're enjoying this, if you can like the live, it definitely helps the algorithm. YouTube, Twitch, and X, and of course on TikTok as well. It definitely helps bringing more people in. Consciousness cannot exist outside the physical and neurological pathways in our brains. I don't see any reason to think that. That's the short answer to that question. Stronger consciousness requires energy. Wait, what? Consciousness requires energy. We eat food to power. Yeah, the body is just a representation of what the information is doing, not the other way around. That's the way I see it. That's Neoman. Yes, now I understand. That's a great handle, man. Is there somewhere we can go to experience what you have experienced with the laser? Many of us live in countries where the God molecule is a class 1 substance. Well, I think in most countries it is. Yes, it is a little bit difficult to get your hands on that. The only thing I guess I can say is if you look for Eric Peterson on Facebook, and I think on YouTube definitely, Peterson. There you go. Pretty sure he's okay with me putting his name. He is pretty good at teaching people how to do all that stuff. He's very open about it. So, as far as I know, he's probably the best address for that. Have you managed to draw any of the characters? Yeah. In fact, you see it in the trailer. That piece of paper you see in the beginning with the red thing in the middle. The thing on the left, if you see, there's like characters. These characters, it's very similar to what it looks like. Is shining through magnifying glass useful? Yes. In all my older versions of the laser, I have microscope lens attached to it. I'm actually traveling. I don't have it with me, otherwise I would show you. Are there any steps you are taking to get academic community to take notice of this? I would imagine people like Donald D. Hoffman would take great interest. Absolutely. Yep. I spoke to the leading researchers in the field. I spoke to Andrew Gallimore. I spoke to Chris Timmerman. To people that are adjacent to all these studies. I spoke to John Dean. He's not adjacent. He's running the study in San Diego. It was 2 sentences in one. And actually, Donald Hoffman was one of the first people I emailed years ago. But he was going through, he was recovering from a heart procedure. He was very kind. He answered, but it was just the wrong time. I think it's time for me to reach out to him, I think. So thank you for reminding me. So death isn't real. It's just a part of the experience. We can experience someone else, DIE, but from their perspective, life is still going on in their own reality. I don't know if I'm making sense. You're making perfect sense. And yeah, totally on board that might make sense. What's up, lot of gear? Always excited to get a comment from X. How would describe the revolution of the code? Are you seeing dozens of characters, hundreds, thousands, millions? Do they stream by a certain direction? Are they static? Great questions. The resolution, yeah, but the revolution also makes sense because they revolve. I would say you're seeing millions of characters, maybe realistically hundreds of thousands. I don't really know, but a lot of them, and they're moving very fast, especially because you're looking into infinity basically, and they are moving along 3 main axes that I can identify. They move around these buckyballs in giant columns, and they switch in the spot, just like the old briefcases where you have to do the code. So like that, these are the 3 main axes. What's up, Smarty from Twitch? Oh my God, we have a comment to Twitch. I mean, from Twitch. Did it become very dimensionally layered after you saw the code? Sorry, what became dimensionally layered? My name is Donick. Keep an eye out for my email in the next day or so. Absolutely, man. I always respond to all the emails in the end. Sometimes I have days that are just wild as far as commitments and things to do, and in these days I simply can't address all the emails, but I'm doing my best. In the end of the day, in the end of the week at least, I'm usually responding to all of them. I've been looking into Hoffman and and decorated permutations. Fascinating. Oh yeah, absolutely, Sean. His work, I think, is going to lead to something very substantial. Stephen Wolfram's work is also very promising, I would say. Smarty888 saying, almost like you could put your fingers to reality. Oh, absolutely. Also, I don't know if you're aware, but if you go to YouTube, I'm very new to Twitch. As you can see, my account there is barely, functional. I barely have anybody following me there, so I appreciate you for being there. So I can't really post videos because I don't have enough followers. But if you go to YouTube, Dango Thoughts, Dango Thoughts, look for my video called The Console. There I'm talking about something very concrete that is happening, an observation that I'm having now, in which I'm literally seeing a computer console 100% of the time when I'm on the molecule. So yeah, I think that would kind of answer some of that question, I believe. And again, I deeply appreciate you being here because I need to grow that Twitch account as well. Okay, let's see what we got here. What are we talking about, CFlow? Usually talking about the simulation hypothesis. My name is Danny, and I'm claiming to have found actual proof that we live in a simulation. A few years ago, I discovered that if you project a diffracted laser on the surface, and you ingest a particular molecule that I can't really name here, but if you Google the spirit molecule, you'll see what I'm talking about. You will see code running in surfaces. This observation has now been replicated over 1,000 times worldwide with basically 100 success rate of the people seeing the same thing. Sometimes it does take some people a little longer to see it, but eventually everybody sees the same thing. So we meet here on the daily to discuss that, as well as science in general, religion, spirituality, philosophy, God, whatever comes to mind, whatever feels right. You see the computer console. Amazing, buddy, Nick. So if you do me a favor, don't watch my video. Text me, email me first what you're seeing. It's really important because I only met 3 other people that see the exact same thing that I'm seeing with the console. If you want more of them, we should exchange notes. But if you watch my video first, you can't help but potentially being tainted by the data. So don't watch that video. Just email me with the details of what you see. And we should talk about it, definitely. Can you interact with the computer console? What is the interface? So because I want to make sure that Donick here doesn't get too much information about it, I'm just going to give you in broad strokes. I think that it's there to train facets of our attention, to show us that you can actually use your attention in particular ways. And I'm not sure why only a handful of people are seeing it at the moment. Perfect. But that's essentially what it is. The only thing that I can tell you about is that it's extremely realistic. It's not like a hallucination or something like that. It's just in the room. It has space permanence. It looks like an object, literally, and you can walk around it, just like you can walk around a coffee table. That's how crazy it is. Lodo Gear is saying, would it make sense to try shining the laser on other surfaces? Yeah, I tried to shine all kinds of surfaces, obviously. I'm also wondering how the code would seem if you done the laser on the skin or another person. So the answer to all these questions, it looks exactly the same, at least so far, no matter what the surface is, including your skin. You see the code in your skin as well. I'm so nervous I've gotten rotten egg farts. That is nerve-wracking, let me tell you. You shouldn't go to public places. Oh yeah, I'm following Bernardo Castro pretty closely. He's incredible. I look like I related to Messi. Yeah, I get that a lot. I take that as a huge compliment because Messi is definitely the GOAT. How is it that we can print quantum computers yet we cannot detect our souls outside of brain? What do you mean by print quantum computers? You mean create quantum computers? Have you ever had any OBEs host? Sorry, I don't know even what that is. I'm very bad with all these acronyms and all that stuff, so please, if you can please explain. Time and space are in our mind. Not so sure it's that straightforward. Technically doesn't exist, only when movement happens. That's begging the question against non-physicalism. Okay. Have you ever had... Okay. How is it that we can print quantum... So how is it we can make quantum computers and we cannot detect our souls outside the brain? Well, because the soul, at least at the moment, is a postulated entity. It's not a thing we've established that exists, right? You can think of it as an informational pattern that survives the body's decay, which I'm totally on board with, but I think the soul is too flimsy of even a term, which would be the answer as to why we can't detect it. Do you think Earth is a soul trap? No. Can you cosplay as Jesus? Hey, Jesus, I have sinned. Didn't we all? I'm so nervous I have... Okay, we got that. May I ask you what you might think the purpose of the observed code is? Thank you. Absolutely. I think this is the reason I'm calling it the code of reality, because I really think that is literally space-time that we're looking at. Quick and... you can find me on Facebook. Eric Peterson, I think there's only one. If you search on YouTube Eric Peterson, I think there's only one that... Hold on. No, you're right. There's a few. Hold on. Damn, you're right. It's not that easy to find. Okay, well, tell you what. Oh, here it is. Wait. I found his Instagram at least. So, his Instagram handle is one word, I make, and then the 3 letters of the molecule. Again, I cannot say it on the live because they're going to flag the live. Sorry. So, I make the 3 letters of the molecule. That's his name on Instagram, and you can find him from there. And you can tell him that I referred you. He's a friend. I know him. Okay. Did you have to take enough for the breakthrough experience and get there more low dose? So if you guys want specifics, out of body experience. Oh, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Consciousness outside of the body, and these. Oh, right. Seeing my brain is just like, I think I even knew that. And the definitely no. Did I have somebody on the live? You mean with the out of body experience? Not sure. I don't recall. Maybe. As for the question about the protocol, you can find the full protocol on codeofreality.com. I'll put it on the chat on YouTube, reality.com. You have everything you need there, including the protocol with all the details. If you still have questions, you can always email me. The email is also listed there. It's lasersimulationx@gmail.com. But if you want the protocol, it's codeofreality.com. Codeofreality.com. Yeah, the 3 letters of the molecule, exactly. Also, guys, we don't do politics here. You're in the wrong chat, Ben. Sorry. The first ever proven communication between 2 human beings in a dream has been achieved by this company, REM Space. Thought you may find it interesting. Somehow, I doubt it, but let's see. REM Space experiment of communication through dreams. 2 people successfully communicated in their dreams using special design equipment. The experiment is considered the first instance of communication between people in dreams. Here are some details about the experiment. Okay, great. So I got to read about this because, people and companies say all kinds of things. So I got to look at the details. I wonder if they list the actual protocol. But interesting. Thank you for letting me know. The console has been discovered by others after seeing the code. Sorry if I missed this. No, man. It's randomly people just basically connected me with other people that have seen something like this. And luckily, at least the first one of them emailed me with all the details before I released the video. So I know that at least one person for sure sees it because I never spoke to him before. and he gave me the exact information that I'm saying before I released the video. And I'm very happy because if I would release the video, I would never have a way to know if he just didn't kind of watch my video and just started saying that. But he didn't because the video wasn't out. And we have the email with the timestamp and everything. And when I released the video with the timestamp and everything. So I know that a few people are seeing it, which is kind of weird because I don't really know what the correlation is. None of these people are anything like me, like from what I'm observing, kind of. So I can't see a common denominator. YouTube is meant to notify about these streams, but it never does. I think you need to mark the bell. You need to not only be subscribed, but mark the bell, and only then it notifies you, I think. Chavez is saying, I forgot who, but there's a scientist trying to prove that our brain through revolution works like a VR headset that filters information given. I think you're talking about Donald Hoffman. Hitting the wall is probably ridiculous, but you get the idea. Wait, let me look at your previous comment because I don't know what it's relating to. Hitting the wall? Oh, you mean as part of the experiment? Wait, would it make sense to be shining the laser at outer surface? Oh, okay, wait. Well, there's all kinds of experiments that. What's up, by the dips NFA? Personally, I don't think it's an evolutionary thing, but more of a requirement to participate. I don't know if I get that comment, Jarvis. If you can specify. How are you? Would I be able to recreate the same scenario through shrooms rather than the molecule? Yeah. You're gonna need at least 3.5 grams. I would say you need a little bit more, but absolutely, it works with mushrooms and it works with Aya. It's the same channel. You just need more of it, and I'm not sure it's gonna be as coherent, but it should work. Yeah. I believe it's because we are all connected in the collective subconscious mind. Oh yeah, no, the fact that it's doable, I would say, is a very high probability. I'm just saying that experimentally showing things like this is very, very difficult. So I'm not sure about that part. Jose, how are you? Good to see you, man. Okay, let's see if we have any. Are you involved in a study with the university or something? Well, the people who are studying this in Imperial and in San Diego now are aware of that. In fact, people from Imperial, at least 2 people involved with the study, they saw the code. Actually, only one of them directly involved with the study, but they saw the code, so they're definitely aware of that. What do you think a meaningful life is? I think you already know my answer on this, Matthew. I think it's a pretty cheesy answer. At this point, it's pretty clear to me that it has to do with learning how to enjoy the mundane and everything you experience every day more than anything. Allocate time for your family, your loved ones, your friends. Find a hobby you really enjoy. Take care of yourself on a daily basis and make sure that you actually give yourself the love you require. All the chewed up and bottled up kind of advice that you always get everywhere, but it's true. Enjoy yourself. I would say that's the meaning of life. The wallpapers is bringing me back to my childhood. I know, right? For me too. I was born in Russia and it looks very Russian, but I'm in Mexico, so somebody put them here. It is good vibes. I don't know what this is. I wish I could click. What's up, Smarty? What is this? Wikipedia, Wiki Invisible Ships. I wish you could. Can you email this to me, Smarty888? Because I can't click on it, and I'm not gonna remember. But if you email me, I'll definitely look at it. It's lasersimulationx@gmail.com. Nomad is saying, hello Dan, would projecting the laser through a mist of some other medium help giving some depth, as in a hologram, to easily observe the structure of the code forming? So a hologram definitely doesn't work with a mist. It works with a 2-dimensional surface. You're spot on that it's a very holographic thing in principle, but smoke is not the way to achieve that. Any mist or smoke will just create random scattering, in order to see something, you need photons, enough photons to be coming from the same direction. So it builds a picture. But if you put smoke in the air, all it does is just random scattering. So you can't actually see in 3D from the air. That's not how holograms work. Again, one of the highly recommended videos I was recommending recently in the last few days is by 3 Blue 1 Brown, and it's the last video he put out. 3 Blue 1 Brown. If you just YouTube this, the last video he posted, it was about that. Something similar going on with the code and console. Similar in what way? Hold on. Oh, you probably okay. I see by the way it's written, invisible ships, right? It's this idea that the Indians couldn't see the ships of the and Native Americans couldn't see the ships of the conquistadors coming because they couldn't conceive of them. I'm not so sure that that story is real, but I definitely believe that there's a form of this in action. So I'm not against that idea. I do think that there is such a thing as conceptual blindness. Do you ever encounter the Moai hyperspace transporter for me? I don't even know what the Moai is. Let me look it up. Monolithic statue, Eastern. Oh, okay. Nope, never seen them. Has anyone independent to you made any videos of the experience seeing code with the laser? Oh yeah, a bunch of people. We have a few of them on the website on codeofreality.com. I should really pin these. Can I pin these? Let's see if I can pin these. There you go. Boom. Boom. Done. Now you guys have it. And yeah, you can definitely see some of these videos, and also there's going to be a lot of them in the movie. Oh, amazing. Your laser is coming today. I'm excited. Hope you can send me a report or something. Have you been in touch with Julian Palmer? I know that he has plenty of experience when it comes to the other side. Well, a lot of people do. Julian Palmer. Who is he exactly? Let's see. So who is he specifically? Why does he stand out from anybody else? I see them in sets of 3 on multiple occasions, always in breakthroughs. Interesting. You know, I don't know why, but I never made too much out of what we see in the breakthroughs. I I might be wrong. Of course, I can be wrong, and probably even most likely wrong about this. But there's something about my intuition that just tells me that it actually doesn't matter. Like I spoke about it quite a bit. That even this focus in Imperial with the way they're focusing on entities, I feel like it's like an arbitrary thing, honestly. Like it's there's too many moving variables to make this. It feels very unscientific. Um, the Chanas guy. No, the movie doesn't have a release date because it depends on budget. So if we get a good budget soon, we'll be able to focus on it full time, and we'll be able to put it out faster. Let's say if we have the full budget, we can probably put it out in about 4 months. But because we still have to do a lot of things, both me and Aaron are filmmakers, so we have other things to do. So at the moment, we're only doing it when we have time. This is why one of the reasons we're doing the crowdfunding to help us do it faster. Either way, we're going to put out like a really good product, but it might take a little longer. So I would say between 4 and 8 months, something like that. Oh, I see. Cool. What's up, Ken? Ken from X is saying, have you tried other surfaces? Yes. And living things, all the same code. Plant, same code. Person, same code. All the same code. It seems to be the same code. Chunga or blend with diffuse. Yeah, yeah, I know what it is, Smarty. Wait, he's the inventor of Chunga. Who? Julian Palmer? Hold on. Hold on. That's amazing. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Incredible. Thank you for letting me know. Spent 2 weeks with him in the Cape of Carpentier Top in Australia. That sounds like an adventure, man. That's awesome. Sounds amazing. Teas infused with the molecule. Wait, how are you drinking teas? Oh, like Aya basically? Okay. What's up, Connor? Good to see you. Going to comment some of TikTok. What's up, Maria? Good to see you. Maria, good to see you. I make, yep. I make is the name of the YouTube channel, I believe that I was talking about. Thank you so much for Vision Flow. The universe is written in Hebrew, the universe language. Actually, some of these characters kind of looks like Hebrew, so maybe you're not that far from the truth. Let's see what we missed here. How did I even discover the laser stuff? That's what a lot of the documentary is going to be talking about. So we'll save it for the doc because there's a lot of details there. It's a years long process in which I was trying to figure out how we can specifically discern what the spaces we learn out. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate you. What do you think about AI? Is AI acting according to your ego? The more ego, the more restricted. Not sure how you're connecting it to an ego, but you can specify. I personally think it has incredible potential, and obviously we should always aware of the dangers and everything. But I think it's part of the natural evolution of things. That's my personal opinion about AI and information development in general. Sure, let's talk. I'm right here. Retreat, we don't know yet, but yeah, I should probably get on that. The next retreat, it seems like maybe this year is already not gonna happen, but maybe the beginning of next year we'll see. But thank you for the question, Steven. Again, anybody who wants to be on at least on the waiting list for the retreat, you can feel free to email me specifically with that subject matter to lasersimulationx@gmail.com, and I'll notify you the second we have a date. What I notice when I take Enigma mushrooms, it unlocks. Okay. Where's the funding coming for the movie? We had a small amounts donated. Um, we had 10 grand donated to us by a friend that we're utilizing, and we have some small donations on GoFundMe, and the rest of it is from our pockets at the moment. So either there's going to be one big backer that will just put, the full amount of what we need, or put big chunk of it, and or we will just keep doing it when we can, or when people donate. We show up for what we can do regardless, because we have a lot of resources in the industry. But still, even with all the resources in the world, certain things you can't really get around. It costs money to get a really good DP. It costs money to for equipment and set up things. So some things you just can't go around. If you want to make something look good, it's gonna cost you money. And yeah, if by the way, that's a good moment for a plug. If anybody has an ability to donate and you do want to see this film being made faster, feel free to, on TikTok, just follow the link in my description, the link tree in my description. There's a link there to the GoFundMe, or the trailer on YouTube. There's the link there as well. Watching my live from Nepal. Well, hello Nepal. I'm jealous. Nepal is. We really wanted to go, and we didn't have time. Traveling the world last year, and couldn't make it. But maybe in the next one. What is your background in, or is that in the documentary too? You mean, do you mean like scientifically what my background is in? Not sure what you're referring there. Do you have a Bitcoin donation address? We do take it. It's not in the thing, but yeah, I do have some Bitcoin wallets. So if that's the preferred way of donating, if you can just email me, and I'll send you the wallet hash, or whatever it's called, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Again, it would be laser simulation x@gmail.com. Yeah, that's my email. Boom. Appreciate you. Thank you, Arwen. Not sure what is the interpretation of it, but I was wondering if it is a persistent feeling that they are trying to give us a heads up. I know what you're talking about. There's like a sense of urgency and everything, but I feel like with all of these scenarios, it's like, how much heads up can you really, like, if there's some imminent danger of some sort that's coming from some kind of a hyperdimensional space, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like the warning is kind of vacuous. It's not really, what are you supposed to do with that? Discover quickly what's going on and then figure out what to do about it. I mean, that's not realistic, is it? Or maybe that's why we're discovering the laser. Who knows? Hopefully, that's not the scenario. Like, were you an engineer, or like your degrees or your hobbies? Oh, I see. I guess the closest you can say that my physics was always my focus, but I think that my main, I guess, arsenal in terms of critical thinking and all of that just comes from being very curious my whole life. So it kind of touches you. It's kind of like a multidisciplinary vision that borrowed a little bit from each domain that I understand somewhat things in. I don't know if that sentence made sense. But yeah, I think physics and math is the only things I can say that are kind of like I feel comfortable, but definitely not on like a physicist level or anything like that. But I can read a paper comfortably and understand what's happening there. And this is why the way that I see my job is to interest enough of the smart people that did devote their lives to these professions, because they can actually look much, much deeper, and being able to kind of combine all of this information together and seeing an overarching picture, I think, is what's going to be required. Okay, I think, almost 15 minutes. Yeah, so today I'm, as I'm sure you guys noticed, I'm a little short-tempered, and I'm just very tired today. But yeah, tomorrow hopefully I'm gonna have a little bit more oomph and more joy, and hopefully I'll be more rested and clear-minded as well to answer questions with a little bit more depth and and maybe in a more entertaining way. So in any case, I'm gonna have to adjourn for tonight. It's almost 1 a.m. for me. Thank you everybody for participating as always. Thank you for showing up. Feel free to follow me across all platforms. TikTok is Danny Goller. X is Goller Danny. YouTube is Dango Thoughts, DANGO Thoughts. And Twitch is LaserX83, which I always forget because it's brand new. So thank you everybody for being here. Peace and love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao. Good night, guys. See ya.